So to add to what I was talking about in a prior video today, that uptrending grind action during the day session, not sure what that was about. It concluded with a nice M pattern. We did have a transition to downside momentum on the momentum tool, and we had a diamond form on that secondary lower pivot high area. So there was a diamond entry right about there. There's the diamond. Stop just above it. Had a nice move. And then while the overall momentum was in a downside environment, there was a range of quick scalps. Diamond, purple diamond, purple diamond, purple diamond, purple diamond. That one didn't work, purple diamond. So, these are a bunch, they get a little movement, they stall out, but in the end, when you're scalping in alignment with momentum, look at how many little cyclical opportunities there were, and you don't have these trades like ripping against you, which if you're trying to short the market in other environments where there's upside momentum, you can have 50 might work a little bit, and the other 50 will run against you pretty hard. You'll get in, and then you'll have a big push against you. Scalping in alignment with momentum is a more forgiving way to trade. Okay, after we flushed out that level from that pullback pivot in the overnight session, I was mentioning in the prior video that was kind of breaking it down at the time. I said we might go flush lower levels, and we could. I think I mentioned we might go down and test that pivot. So anyhow, we did clean it out. You can see as price traded lower, we have a divergence building on the indicator. We had a shift above the midline from about that point. It oscillated a bit, but built up some momentum. So at least we came out of that big downside momentum during this lift of price. And you can see there was a W pattern right as the trend bias had a structural shift from short side. Because remember, we were long from pre-market, long, then short the whole time, then back to long. So overnight session, some news hit, we were short, then we were long, then we were short, then we're long. So the charts I have here are more optimized for not necessarily trading just off trend bias signals. It's more of a kind of a compromise between having the trend bias not too responsive to price and just helping you stay in alignment with momentum when you're hitting the diamond scalps. And the only real proper way to work diamond scalp trades is just you want to use a bracketed order, meaning when you hit the buy or sell button, you already have your bracket for your stop and what's going to happen with your targets and so on already, kind of preset. Like an ATM in NinjaTrader 8 or bracket in other platforms, that's the way to go. But you can see we did have a little W pattern after we swept that key level, lifted, and then right here we had a diamond. We had upside momentum building, trend bias was green, and then got a green diamond after the pullback and lift. So some long scalps earlier part of the morning, and then range of short action, short scalps, and then a long scalp right there. So a lot of junk grinding consolidation zones today, but some days we get that, and then some days we open and just skyrockets and runs, or big down, fake move, and then they run it up. So for a Monday with all the geopolitical news, very surprised this was contained for how long it was before we finally got some selling. So not a bad day overall, and then the just the structural momentum shifts from long to short, to long to short to long. In the main part of the overnight session when the EU markets are trading, through the pre-market for the U.S., through the U.S. market session, and the day's not even over with. There's still, what have we got, about 2 hours left in the day. And, never know, it could run all the way back up to the upper range. So there you have it. If you have any questions, info at Prop Firm Scalping. You can get your questions answered over there. And yeah, these tools are working fantastic. I will be doing some videos eventually showing how it's connected to using Traders Post for doing automated trading. I'm going to kind of cover the basics first and then move into that. Also, there's some reference material we're giving out to everybody that's jumped on board so far right away. There's going to be a webinar for everybody for some training on how to use the tools. What I've showed you is just some of the uses. There are ways to use the tools where you're focusing more on the momentum tool for your buy and sell points. And I'm going to, in the webinar, kind of cover the components of all the different indicators and how they can be used. And that will be recorded for the group. So yeah, if you have any questions, info at propfirmscalping.com, and have a fantastic day.